Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a pick a card reading on what your spirit team want you to know, but you might not want to hear. So this is going to be the raw truth. If you're feeling extra sensitive or feel like you might be triggered, feel free to click off this video or to come back another day, because I'm going to give it to you straight. I'm not going to sugarcoat it, but I'm not going to be aggressive with it either. So I might be your style of reader, I might not. We'll see. So we have three piles today. We have pile number 1 with the Aquamarine or Celestite. I'm not sure which one that is. If you know, please leave me a comment below. That would be really helpful. It's this like really light blue milky color. I'm pretty sure it's Aquamarine, but I have so many blue crystals, I actually don't know. And then pile number 2 is rose quartz, or is this aura quartz? Yeah, this is rose quartz. And then we've got Kunzite over here for pile number 3. So I will place the timestamps below in the description box. If you click on the pile that you've chosen, I will see what you read. Hey, pile number 1. So if you chose this stone here, the Aquamarine or Celestite, I'm still not really sure what it is, but for this reading, we'll just call it Aquamarine. If you chose that stone, you are in the right place. And what I'm going to do first is lay out your cards, and then we will dive straight in and see what your spirit guides want you to know. So we have the Page of Cups, 4 of Cups, 10 of Swords, 6 of Cups, the Moon, and the Sun reversed. Why is my desk wet? All right. The Sun, yeah, the Moon, and then we've got Compromise. The situation will improve. Traitor. Far, far away. And home. Okay, so I'm just going to sit with this energy for a second, see what messages I'm getting, and then we will go from there. Okay, so what's standing out to me first and foremost is the Page of Cups. Now, the Page of Cups can talk about an emotionally immature person or just a young energy. Now, I'm going to be reading this as if you are this Page of Cups, but keep in mind, this could be someone that you are dealing with, and so if need be, flip the energy. Okay, so what I'm seeing here is someone who feels really out of depth with their emotions. Someone who may not have had stable parents or guidance figures in their life growing up to allow them to open up to their emotions and feel their emotions. And I feel this is a male. I feel this is a male who is, I'm hearing, old enough to know better. This is someone who has focused on outwardly appearances, as opposed to what's inside their heart and who they truly are. I think this person has built up their life in a way that is quite inauthentic to them, and so they're currently feeling like a fish out of water and like they don't belong in the life that they have created for themselves. So that's what I'm getting first and foremost with that card. Now with the second card here, 4 of Cups, I feel like this is a separate energy. I feel like this is a woman or feminine energy. Keep in mind, males can possess more of a heightened feminine energy, so as I said, flip if need be. I'm seeing this cup is tied to this one here. And I feel like this feminine energy is focused on other things. And she's not looking at him, which is causing him to feel unworthy. But what I think is going on here is there's a mirroring. I think that they're both holding their cards really close to their chest. They're both feeling unstable and unwilling to open up and express love to each other, which is causing them both to have anxiety. I'm seeing this as like, could even be as deep as depression. Yeah, but these two share a really loving bond. They share a really pure, kind, heart-centered bond. Their inner children speak to each other. What I'm seeing here is, what I'm seeing clairvoyantly right now is the statue. I think it was at Burning Man a couple of years ago. And it was a picture of two grown adults, well, in an adult body. And they were facing away from each other. But their inner children were inside those bodies, and they were like holding on to each other, trying to, grasp at each other. And I feel like that is the energy here summed up. I feel like their inner children come alive when they are together, but there's a feeling of being too emotionally immature or too young to be able to deal with this properly. I'm seeing the moon correlate with this Page of Cups here. I'm actually seeing this feminine here. I'm seeing her face in the moon. And I'm seeing him look to the moon for answers. So this could be a masculine energy that is opening up their feminine side. So intuition, feelings, emotions, and whatnot. He's not used to it though. He's out of his depth, and he feels like he's got training wheels on, and he's like wobbly, and he doesn't know what he's doing, but there's something that's leading him to explore that side. And I think it's actually the feminine drawing her power in to herself. I think she isn't focused on what he's doing. She's upset. She's lonely. She's sad, but she's looking for the future. She's looking towards the future. I don't think she's paying attention to him, which is actually causing him to go inwards and reflect and look at himself, which is the overall, I'm getting like reason for this situation. So whether or not this is a relationship, whether or not this is a friendship, whatever this means to you, there's a reason for this connection happening. And even though it's caused a lot of pain and heartache, and I'm hearing sleepless nights, there is clarity that can come out of this. There is something that is trying to be illuminated here. And I think it's a really tough karmic lesson between the both of them. I think that there has been tendencies of codependent behavior, whether or not that is both of them engaging in it or one of them. But I'm seeing codependency. I'm seeing something happen to break this up. I'm seeing the feminine energy reflect, be in her emotions, and pour into herself. And I'm seeing that being a catalyst for this masculine energy awakening his feminine side. So awakening to his emotions, awakening to his own intuition, and awakening to the inner depth that he possesses. Because I think he's living a pretty shallow life. It's kind of what I'm getting. He's living a pretty shallow life and he's unsatisfied. And he's looking at, I'm hearing Talking to the Moon. What's that song, that Bruno Mars song? I'm pretty sure it's Talking to the Moon. I'm hearing that right now. So there's a longing coming from him. I think she feels it, but she's ignoring it. And she's focusing on herself. And that's what is supposed to be happening right now. So compromise. What I'm getting from this is a karmic situation. With the scales here, I'm getting this is a karmic situation. This was meant to happen this way. There's, as I said before, there's an illumination of some kind of underlying patterns is what I'm hearing when it comes to them individually. But this situation has been the catalyst to bring it out in both of them. I'm getting a lot of pain though. Like, there is a lot of pain here. There is a lot of hurt here from both sides. When really they are just trying their best to be happy together, but they don't know how. They're not able to, and that's all for a reason. Even if you can't see it right now, even if it feels like you're going through the depth of it, there is a reason for this. There is a higher reason for this. This is karmically balancing something. Whether or not that's something that happened in this lifetime or lifetimes ago or whatever that situation may be, there's a karmic balancing, which is why this situation had to happen the way it did. But it will improve. It's not going to stay this way forever. I feel like it's been like this for a while. I feel like there's a telepathic connection here. There's a psychic connection here. I'm getting that they can't see each other, but they can feel each other. And with this here as well, it's kind of like, yeah, it's home. It feels like home. The dynamic when it's good between the two of them, it feels like home. And it feels like childhood. So you may know each other from childhood, or this may just be someone who really ignites your inner child. There's a lot of wishing, waiting, hoping, dreaming, that kind of energy. And what I'm getting is there's a need for both of these energies to be focused on their stability, on their lower chakras, on their root chakra in particular. But I'm also getting their solar plexus and their sacral is also impacted by the situation. But the root chakra is the most important in this situation to address, as there's a lot of anxiety that I'm feeling here. There's a lot of depression. There's a lot of repressed energy, repressed emotions that need to come out in some kind of way. So I'm getting there's a need for rest right now. There's a need for rest. There's a need for reflection. There's a need for creating as well. A lot of, beautiful creations come from deep emotions. And if it's, a heavy emotion, you can transmute that through creation. Yeah, so I'm getting this needs to be worked through on both sides before anything can come forwards or progress from here. There's a lot that's up in the air. I'm not seeing a future timeline. I'm literally just seeing what is happening right now and what is the energy right now. And I'm getting there's faith that needs to happen. There's balancing that needs to happen. There is a release of any heavy energies that need to happen, and that could be used in a physical way. So you could use this as fuel for like working out or exercising, obviously the same fucking thing. Or you can, yeah, I'm getting like there's a need to go back to basics. There's a need to strip things down. There's a need to not worry about the future, not worry about what's going to happen with this situation. It will improve. It's not going to stay this way. I know it might be hard to fathom that because of where you are right now in it, but it's not going to stay this way. This is a temporary phase. This is not the end of this situation. But there's a need to reflect in yourself. There's a need for these two to be disconnected right now. That's why this is happening. There's deep soul lessons for the both of them. I'm getting for the feminine, it's got to do with the sun. So it's got to do with masculine energy. It's got to do with asserting herself. It's got to do with standing in her power. It's got to do with the life force energy, you know, bringing life around her and creation. Whereas in that sense, whereas with the masculine, I'm feeling like he really needs to focus on his feminine side. He really needs to, I'm kidding. He needs to accept he has emotions. He needs to honor those emotions. And he needs to realize that it doesn't make him any less of a man. Whatever rhetoric he's been told was a lie, is all that I'm hearing. And I'm getting he's old enough to be able to integrate his own version of masculinity. It's time for him to frame what that is and step into that. It's quite sad because you do get that with a lot of masculines that have quite a strong, that have strong emotions or that are emotional men. That isn't just anger, you know. I have 3 sons myself, and it's really important for me to be able to hold space for their emotions and let them know that it doesn't make them weak. It actually makes them so much stronger to be able to face them and heal through them and integrate the lessons and become a well-rounded man. This is something that I'm really big on, but it's not something that comes easy to my partner to show my kids that. So there's definitely a underlying theme of a wounded masculine here that just needs to open up to their own feelings and have that safe space. The reason why I brought up my own kids is because I feel like this masculine didn't get that as a child. I feel like he got quite the opposite and was told to be stoic, was told to push everything down, and it's catching up to him now, and it's a lot. So honestly, I empathize with that. And I think that men, unfortunately, have had a disadvantage when it comes to their emotional intelligence because of society's perception of what men should be and how that is, I think, a really deeply ingrained thing in most, well, at least most men that I've encountered. Yeah. And the feminine herself isn't aware to her own power. And because she's too much in that energy. So there's an imbalance here that needs to be balanced. It will balance out. But the feminine can't do it for the masculine, and the masculine can't do it for the feminine. It needs to be done individually. So just to end off, I'm going to pull a couple more cards. We've got 9 of Wands, the Wounded Warrior. I'm still standing though, that's what I heard. Yeah, there's a resilience here from both of them. There's a resilience, a strength, but a different kind. I'm seeing some really thick quads here, so I feel like the masculine is quite overtly masculine. Like in his appearance, I feel like he's probably got strong muscles. He's probably seen as quite stoic. He's probably seen as a really strong pillar of his immediate family is what I'm getting, like the family he grew up in. I think he takes on a lot of responsibilities because it's what he thinks a man is what I'm hearing. A man doesn't be is what I'm hearing, which is not true. We need both of those energies to be able to create and manifest into our lives. But there's a wounded perception of what a masculine energy is from his side. I don't think the feminine has that when it comes to the masculine. I think she just needs to wake up to herself more than anything. I think she just needs to realize that she is enough, is what I'm hearing. She's enough, she's enough, she's enough. Yeah. I think that any emotional immaturity on his part or lack of emotional vulnerability or openness causes her to internalize it and think that she's not good enough, when that is not the truth. They're both dealing with illusions right now that they need to individually pop to be able to move this situation forwards in any way. So let's just go one more card, please, to finish this off. The Star, yeah. So there is healing. There's healing. There is divine guidance with this as well. Spirit teams in cahoots over this. There's a common wound that these two share, but it's expressed in very, very different ways. So on the outside, you would not think that they share the same wound, but they do deep down, and it comes out in different ways. And so they're both in this illusion of what the situation really is. But it's divinely orchestrated to be this way. It was meant to happen like this, because this is how they learn their lesson. This is how they heal from the underlying insecurity, or I'm getting it's a feeling of not being enough. They both feel that, but it gets expressed in different ways, because she's more in her feminine and he's more in his masculine. So for him, it's like an ego protection thing. I'm getting he wants to be seen as the King of Wands, which is a very different energy to the Page of Cups, because he thinks the King of Wands is what a man is. But a divine masculine, a divine man, is the embodiment of all the kings. He's balanced. He's not just physically masculine or on the outside, masculine. He's integrated his spiritual side, his mental side, his practical side, his emotional side, all the things that make us us. He's integrated them in a healthy way. That's the emperor. That's what a divine man is. And so there's a need for him to look at what a man is in a very, very, very different lens than what he is at the moment. And with her, I'm just hearing, wake up. Wake up to yourself. Wake up, wake up, wake up. There's too much looking at what you're not, what you don't have, to even be able to process who you are and what you do have. I'm getting a really soft, kind, beautiful energy from this feminine. And I'm also getting the same energy from the masculine because they're the same thing but different sides. But there's a feeling of guilt here as well. There's a feeling of guilt and a feeling of remorse and a feeling of apathy because he's running from himself and he's running from his emotions, which in turn has pushed her away. But as I said, this is divinely orchestrated. There is a reason for this. It will improve. It is healing. I'm getting the wheel of fortune. So the wheel's moving. It's going to start going into a better cycle. But each of them just need to be doing their own individual work and sitting with themselves thinking, why is it that I do not feel good enough? And how can I heal this within myself? The Hermit on the back here, in the bottom of the deck, also talks about solitude. So there's a need for solitude from both of them at this point in time. So I hope that helped in any way that it can. I hope you got some clear, concise messages from me that helped to give you clarity or strength or whatever it is that you came to this reading for. If you enjoyed this reading, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and hit subscribe. I will aim to post a video every week. I have 4 kids and a very, very busy life, so I think that is doable, 1 a week. Yeah, so if there is a reading topic you would like me to cover next week, then feel free to leave it in the comments below. Hopefully I will see you at my next reading. Bye. Hey, pile number 2, if you chose this stone here or the Angel Aura Quartz, you are in the right place. Welcome to your reading. I'm going to pull the cards first. I'll let you know what we've got, and then I'll sit with it for a second, see what kind of energy we are dealing with, and then we'll go from there. So this group got the most tarot cards. I initially only wanted to pull 6, but 8 just had to come out, which is kind of annoying because I don't really have the space, but we will work with what we've got. I think what I'm going to do actually is read this, and then I think these 2 here will finish off on. Okay, so what we've got here is the 3 of Wands, the 5 of Cups, the World, the 4 of Swords, the Ace of Swords, 10 of Cups, 6 of Pentacles, Strength, Opportunity, No Need to Worry, and Stargazer. So I'm just going to sit with this energy for a second, and we will see what I am getting. Okay, so when I just looked up at my phone to make sure that the video was recording, it was at 1 minute 23, which I feel like plays into this. I feel like there's a want to progress in your life. I feel like there's a real pull and a real calling to expand, to have more, to have new experiences, to get out of the mundane or routine that you're in at the moment. I think you are quite unsatisfied. And I think you have been for a while, and I think you have been ignoring it. And what I'm getting is you can choose to ignore it again. You haven't, this is not the first time you've been at this crossroads where you've thought, this is not what I want for my life. I want more. But you have chosen to push that down, and you've chosen to go, I'm going to stick out this, even though I fucking hate it, is what I'm getting. And it's really wearing you down. you are committed to a path that you hate. Why are you doing that? I'm not trying to call you out or, you know, be rude or anything, but this is really coming from your guides. They're really like, we've had enough of this. Haven't you had enough of this? I know you have, so close the cycle. Choose better for yourself. Choose something new. Change and different things. Like, it's not something to be afraid of. It can be so exciting and so liberating if you choose for it to be that way. I'm just getting a vision right now of something that happened in my life, and I think that this pertains to what I'm talking about, so I'm going to share it. When I was 14, when I was 14, I moved from my home country, which is New Zealand, to Australia. And this was in my second year of high school. And when my parents told me I was going to be moving, I remember initially feeling shocked. I remember initially feeling a little bit sad and a little bit like, I don't know what's going to happen. I have all my friends here. I have this and that here. Yeah, and just feeling like scared of the change. But then I had a change of perception, and I thought to myself, this is a fresh start. This is like a whole new era for me. This is me. I can step into this opportunity and really embrace it and really think to myself, I don't know any of these people. I can reinvent myself. I can be whoever I want to be. I can do whatever I want to do. And it really helped me to frame that situation differently. I wasn't angry at my parents. I didn't tell them that I had to stay because this and that. I actually just accepted it and said, okay, like, let's bring on the adventure. And I think you need to adopt that kind of mentality. I think that there's an inspiration, like there's a pull when it comes to your inspiration, and yeah, you want to feel fired up. You want to feel excited about what you're doing, and you're just not right now. You're just not, and you haven't been for a while, and you've been hoping it's going to change, putting yourself in the same situation, hoping that things will change, but it doesn't. And your guides are saying, close it up. Close up that cycle. Finish that cycle. Like, you have had enough of that. We've had enough of that. I'm sure everyone around you's had enough of that. You know, in the sense of like, no one wants to see you sad. No one wants to see you doing something that is making you unhappy. Yeah, there's a need to commit to following your calling and following whatever is being breadcrumbed to you right now. Because I'm getting you are seeing small synchronicities, small signs, small things that are piquing your interest. What I call those are breadcrumbs. I've had plenty of those in my life. Ones that have led me to tarot, ones that have led me to astrology, ones that have led me to all the things that I bleed now. You know, things that I would just, in the moment, something that I was like, oh, that, you know, takes my attention. But 10 years down the track, I'm now a tarot reader. I'm now, you know, starting to be an astrologer. I'm now all these things that called my attention when I was younger. So there's a feeling of, you need to quieten your mind. You need to be in solitude. You need to sit with yourself and get really, really clear and make a commitment to yourself to choose more and to choose better, because you will never, ever, ever get the 10 of Cups replaying this cycle here. Replaying the cycle of, I want more, but I'm scared of change, but that means I have to do this and do that. I'm just going to stay in this comfortable loop of uncomfortability, really, at the end of the day. That chips away at your soul. You know, you see people that have been in the same like dead end job for like 20 years and just seeing the same shit day in, day out. That chips away at your soul, at your essence of yourself. You just stifle it every single day, a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit more. And there's a need to realize that, get out of this energy and choose something different for yourself. Really, it starts with your mind, because you're making this out to be so much bigger than what it actually is. You don't need to make a massive overhaul of your life in one day. And honestly, if you try and do that, you're going to fail. It doesn't work that way. You need to make small, consistent changes that snowball into a new life, that snowball into a big thing, that snowball into your happiness. Because something tells me you are not happy. You know you're not happy. And your angels are trying to lead you to what will make you happy, but you're choosing to replay a dead end cycle. And it needs to stop. You need to get real with yourself, and you need to make a commitment to yourself to choose a higher path for yourself, to choose a path that will lead you to this. Because I think you want this. I think you want family. I think you want whatever that means to you, you know, whether that's kids or not, or whether that's a partner, or whether that's like a pet, or whatever family means to you. You need to realize that the path you're on now is not leading you to that. It's leading you away from that. It's leading you to solitude. It's leading you to a feeling of isolation. You don't get strong connections and this kind of life, repeating old, outdated cycles. There's a feeling of lack here, which is why you feel like you can't step into this mentality of changing, you know, of switching it up. I think you don't believe in yourself. I think you don't believe that you can. Well, I'm here to tell you, you absolutely can. You absolutely can. You have the strength to do it. You just need to see that you have the strength to do it. You need to get out of this loop, because as I said, that's what's killing your strength. That's what's making you feel like you are killing your strength. There's an endless well of source, right? Energy is not created nor destroyed. There's an endless well of inspiration that can come from you being aligned and brave enough to have the strength to say fuck that to anything that isn't aligned and run towards what is aligned. Well, let me rephrase that, because I'm getting like the reason why this is overwhelming you is because you think it's like, oh my God, I want this whole nother life and I'm in this life now that I'm not happy with. But as I said, you need to snowball to that life. Little things every single day, they really, really add up. Just like how repeating this cycle, as little as it may seem, every single day, it really adds up. You can choose to put your energy that way in repeating cycles, outgrown and outdated things that you already know do not serve you. You know where that's going to lead you. Feeling unfulfilled, feeling like disconnected from yourself. Do something different and follow those breadcrumbs. Because when you follow the breadcrumbs, the synchronicities, the signs from the universe, it leads you to such an amazing place that you can't even fathom yourself. And I'm saying this from experience. I've been in plenty of situations in my life where it's felt like a soul-crushing end that I couldn't pick myself up from, or that I couldn't change. I've been stuck in patterns of complacency in my life as well. But how I've gotten myself out of that is always through a commitment to myself that I don't want to go another year doing this. I don't want to go another, couple months. I don't even want to go another fucking day doing this. This is killing me. I have to change something. There's a feeling of getting really real with yourself and going, What am I unhappy with? Get it the fuck out of my life. And instead of wasting energy on that loop of pouring into something I'm really, really unhappy with, I'm going to cut that out and I'm going to focus on creating something new. And look at what happens when you do that. There's opportunity that just showers to you from being aligned with yourself, from being brave enough to say, I'm going to believe in myself. I'm going to believe there's better for me, and I'm going to take action on it. When you act in alignment with the universe, and when you see these signs and synchronicities and act on them, the universe just opens up magical portals for you. Seriously, it does. It leads you to places that you could never even imagine being stuck in this cycle. But the first step to do that is to be honest with yourself. If you are unhappy, admit you're unhappy. You don't have to be down on yourself about that, though. You don't have to be beating yourself up about that. People make mistakes. People, take wrong turns, not knowing that they're wrong turns. And it's really what you learn from those situations that matter, or how you take yourself out of that situation that matters. You can't see more for yourself because there's a lack of self-belief. There's a need to set your sights higher than what this loop you're currently in now, but it's like there's no belief that you can actually get yourself there. And what you need to realize is that when you follow these signs and synchronicities, it's not just you getting yourself there. You've got a whole team behind you that leads you to where you need to be, exactly where you need to be. And I'm saying this so assertively because this is my story as well. This is what I've been through myself. I know this to be true. If you want better for yourself, you have to choose better. You have to say, fuck off complacency. You have to say, fuck off the same thing every single day. And you have to go, today, I'm doing this one thing. This one thing for myself. That's all that it needs to start off with, is one thing. And then you do it again in another couple days, or the next day, or whenever you've set yourself up to do it, whatever's realistic for your life. And then that snowballs, and that eventually creates a whole new life. And you look back to this here and you go, wow, that feels like a whole lifetime ago. So I believe in you. If no one has told you that, I believe in you. Truthfully, I believe in you. I know you can do it because I've done it myself. Anyone can do it. You just need to believe in yourself. You just need to get really clear with yourself, and you need to be the one making the decision, and you need to be the one acting on it. And you need to be the one having discipline to not fall into what you know, to hold space for what is better. All right, now let's see these two here. Scared to fly and responsibility. Okay, some very to the point messages here. Yeah, there's a timidness, there's a nervousness, there's an anxiousness, there's a feeling of, is this the right path? Is this right? Is this wrong? Is this right? Is this wrong? Really, it's all in how you perceive it. I don't know if I believe in something being the right path or the wrong path. I think that you can choose to take lessons, or you can choose to take learnings that you can integrate into yourself through the right path or wrong path. So there really is no right path or wrong path. As long as you're learning stuff, as long as you're evolving, does it really matter how you got to that place? Obviously, if you're hurting people and you're, not being, not holding true to your values, or if you don't have any values or morals or anything like that, then yeah, you probably are doing the wrong thing. But if you have good intentions and you're trying to do something, you know, if you're going in with the intentions of, I'm doing this new thing to help myself evolve, get down a new track, like, you can't go wrong. You really can't. If you're going in with that mentality and you're looking for the things that you can learn from, you're going to learn. You're going to evolve. It's
only like natural that that's going to happen. Responsibility. Yeah, it's your responsibility to grow. It's your life is your responsibility. How it turns out is your responsibility. There's a need to not be victim to your circumstances and take responsibility for your life, for your path and the way that it's going, and say, okay, I don't like this loop. I'm going to choose something different. I'm the one that's responsible for that. I'm the one that can do that. There's a lot of yellow here, so there's a lot of solar plexus energy as well. So there's a need to work on your confidence. There's a need to focus on that to be able to feel strong enough to choose different for yourself. I think that is all that I'm getting. I think I'm going to leave it there. So thank you for watching this video. I hope that I was able to give you some messages that resonated with you and helped you in any way that they could. Please hit the like and subscribe button if you did enjoy this reading. I will be back next week with another reading, so feel free to leave a comment in the box below if there's a topic that you would like to see from me. Bye. Hey, pile number 3, if you chose the Kunzite, you are in the right place. I am pretty sure that's how you say that crystal name. Please correct me below if I'm wrong. So what we'll do is we will pull your tarot cards first, and then I'll get your oracle cards. I'll let you know what we have. I'll sit with the energy for a second, and then we will go from there. So we have got the 7 of Swords, the 6 of Swords, the 7 of Wands, Death, 2 of Swords, 8 of Cups, listen to your intuition, Shapeshifter, Desires, 3 Graces. I'm actually just going to put that like that. There we go. All right. Let me sit with this for 1 second. So what I'm getting is there may have been a situation that you were in recently. I'm getting like tit for tat, a bit of a low vibration sort of exchange, which no judgment, you know, we've all been there. We all say words, we all say shit we don't mean. So I'm getting there was a situation where there may have been a verbal argument, there may have been things exchanged that were quite hurtful, and there's a nasty fight is what I'm getting, and whatever scale you're on, if you relate to that, doesn't really matter, but I'm getting there's like a exchange with someone else or a dynamic with someone else. Might have been an ex or a friend or even, you know, a group of people, whatever. There's like a feeling like you need to defend yourself, feeling like you need to cut people down, cut people off, like slice people with your words is what I'm getting. And honestly, I'm not here to say that wasn't the right move. I'm kind of getting might have been called for. So I'm getting those feeling of like something coming to light, a truth or something that is shocking or revealing, and then a need to be like, I got to get out of here. And some words exchanged. Yeah, something a bit like confusing, a bit what the fuck happened there. But I think you're out of that now. Or if you're going through it now, you will be out of it, or you need to take yourself out of that situation. You need to go far away, is what I'm hearing. Far, far away from this situation, this person, whatever this is. This is toxic. This is something that has run its course, is what I'm hearing. And there's a need to realize you're in control of whether or not you stay in that dynamic or get the fuck out of it. And I'm getting, if you choose to get out of it, you will not regret it. But once you sort of move out of it, the remnants will stay for a while. There is a feeling of having your back up against the wall, feeling like you need to protect yourself from everyone, feeling like everyone's against you. I'm feeling there's like a trust that's been broken, or some kind of betrayal. Something's happened that has made you feel like your back's against the wall. It's everyone against you, and you need to protect yourself and defend yourself at all costs, even in a different situation, even in a completely new environment. If you have left this, the remnants will stay, is what I'm getting, for a little while, because this is heavy. I don't know what this is, but it's heavy. Yeah, and through this, the walls will slowly come down, is what I'm getting. But I think you need to be in isolation. I think you need to sit with yourself and really deal with the remnants of this. And I'm not getting exactly how to do that, because I think this situation is different for everyone, but there's a need to get away from that. You're gonna feel defensive. You're gonna feel like you can't trust anyone. You're gonna feel like you want to just bat people off, is what I'm getting. Like, stay the fuck away from me. Which honestly might be called for. I feel like this is pretty heavy, but that won't last. Sitting in solitude and sitting with yourself, dealing with the feelings that come from that, it'll slowly start to dissolve. It'll slowly start to come down. You're not always going to feel as angsty or as like fuck the world as you do if it's right now or in the past or whatever, whatever stage you're at in this timeline. Yeah, it's not going to be like that forever. You will transform out of this. I know this might be really hard to hear, but that situation did happen for your highest good, to get you out of there, because there's a loop. Just like you may have been drawn to pile 2, because there's a similar energy with that. If you won't disregard that, but there's a loop that has happened here, and it happened for too long, and there was divine intervention. I'm feeling that it was a tower moment. I'm feeling like everything blew up, and now you're like, yeah, defensive. Now you're like, nobody come into this tower, because if you want to ruin what I have, I'm going to ruin you. But that will fade away. Know that will fade away. Know that you're not permanently in that energy. You will transform out of it. But right now, you can't really see your future, is what I'm getting. You can't really see where you're going, which is also causing you to have some trust issues. I'm just going to sit with the energy of the Two of Swords and the Eight of Cups for a second, because there's a message here that's trying to come through to me, but I can't quite decipher it. I know that there's more here, but I'm missing it. I'm just going to sit with it for a couple of seconds. Okay. There's a side message here. If you deal with any addictions, addictive behaviors, or addictive patterns, there's a need to get really raw with yourself and look at what you were running from. Because this is just a side message and it might not be for everyone. You could potentially get yourself in another situation where you have to learn this lesson again if you choose to numb the pain and not face it and not transform through it. This is the perfect catalyst for transformation, is what I'm hearing. Whatever this sticky situation is, whatever you've been through, was the perfect catalyst that you needed for this transformation. With this Eight of Cups, I'm sort of seeing the cups as rocks, and I'm seeing her like stumble on them and sort of trip and not know like how to stabilize herself. But what I'm getting is she's looking directly at the moon, which is tying into this here. Listen to your intuition. Follow the path that is being placed in front of you, even though it may seem rocky, even though it may seem like you don't know where you're going, or on outward appearances, it's like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, why am I choosing to do this? There's a need to listen to your intuition. I feel like it's really heightened at this time, and I feel like this might not be normal for you, and you might be feeling a little bit like schizophrenic or like, what is happening with my mind? But your spirit, your guides and your team are really heavily with you right now, and they're really trying to show you the path to healing. And it's not a straight path, it's not a linear path. Sometimes, you know, you go up and then you come down, and then you think you've healed something, and then you go, oh, wait, I've got to go back and I've got to, you know, look at it from this angle or whatever. It's not a linear path. And I don't know if we ever truly are fully healed. I don't think there is such thing as being fully healed, because you can't erase pain from the past. But all you can do is transmute it into learnings, transmute it into lessons, and integrate, you know, new ways of being to not attract those same situations. And I think that is ultimately why you've gone through what you've gone through here. Even though you may be sort of in the stance of like, what was that? Why did that have to happen? You know, couldn't my guides have just told me? But I'm getting like, we have. We've been trying to. You haven't been listening. So sometimes there's tower moments that need to happen to break down things that aren't real or aren't built off solid foundations, are an illusion. It's actually a blessing that those things break down, because they are, you know, they're going to eventually. Something that isn't built on strong foundations is going to break down eventually, and you would want it to happen sooner rather than later, so you can pick yourself up and actually build on solid ground that isn't going to break, or that isn't going to crumble. This situation is leading you to who you truly are. You are going to change a lot. You're going to evolve a lot. You're going to go through a lot of challenges, but don't let that deter you, because nothing worth having comes easy. When you work for something that you have, and you work on, in terms of, in the context of, you know, self-worth, when you pour energy into yourself and you focus on up-leveling and growing and evolving, there's so many beautiful things that come with that. You don't look for external validation anymore. You don't look outside of you to find anything. You have it all within you. And this is what this situation is leading you to be. The most powerful, most authentic, most true version of yourself. Because whatever you had before wasn't aligned with that version of you, the highest version of you. And, you know, we all have a decision when it comes to whether or not we actually want to undertake that path. Like, not everyone wants to evolve. Not everyone wants to be the best version of themselves. And that's their journey, you know. You've got to respect and meet people where they're at. And If someone doesn't want to evolve or doesn't want to be the highest version of themselves, you've got to understand what you're accepting is the lower things, the tower moments, the foundations crumbling, the things that aren't, you know, don't feel great within you. You're going to keep attracting those things because that's what you are choosing, whether it's conscious or subconscious, you're choosing that. But when you consciously choose to up level and you consciously choose to commit to the highest version of yourself, that's when magic happens. That's when everything just opens up for you and you find yourself being pulled down all these ways that you just, it's like a magical pick your own adventure. It really is. Like those storybooks that you used to get. I used to love those back in primary school. The little storybooks where it's like you got to pick the beginning and middle and end. Like that is when you're a conscious creator, when you're conscious of your patterns, when you're conscious of, I want to heal this, I want to create better for myself, I want to do all these things. That's when you are you're picking that story. You're picking your story. You're not just living the story that is unfolding in front of you and letting life happen for you. You're creating your life. I think you were in a state where life was happening for you, even though, you know, you may have been doing things in your control that, you know, you may have been studying or, you know, pick things that are for you or whatever. But you've got to sit and ask yourself, were those things really aligned to me, or were they what I thought I needed to do, or were they what people told me I had to do, or what society's, you know, put pressure on me to do? Following that path does not lead to fulfillment. It leads to this. But we all have a choice, don't we? We all have a choice whether or not to go to that or to go to the highest version of ourselves. And yeah, this is something that you may need to sit with and get really clear on. Which version of yourself are you committing to, and commit to it? Because if you choose to follow this, if you choose to use the situation as a catalyst for growth and evolution, good things are inevitable to come out of it. Joy, sharing, new partnerships that are fun, cooperative ventures with friends, this says. So you will get there. Even on this tree here, right? See how there's only like a few things of flowers? It's like it takes a while. You know, it's not just going to be straight away. For something to last, it's going to take a while. It's going to build slowly, 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 slowly. And then all of a sudden, all of the flowers will be there. But this is something, yeah, this is why you went through that. I'm getting like, that was a lot. Why did I have to learn this lesson this way? It's because you have been asleep to your own self and your power within yourself to change the situation, to change yourself, to grow, to evolve, to become a better version of you. Yeah, I think that's all that I'm getting for this reading today. Thank you so much for clicking on this reading and listening to me yap. If you enjoyed this reading, please click the like and subscribe button below. I'm going to be aiming to post a video every week. So if you would like to request a pick a card topic for me for next week, please leave that in the comments below. And yeah, I wish you a lovely morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are in the world. And I hope to see you in my next video. Bye.